Hey, magical people, welcome back to Spellbound. So, I am coming to you guys on the full moon in Sagittarius, and I wanted to say thank you so much. We officially have reached 100 subscribers. So, I'm really celebrating the small wins, and I know that those small wins are going to amplify bigger wins to come to me. So something about gratitude right now is really important. And then as I was driving home, I actually saw a hawk that swooped right in front of my car. So there seems to be a message going around about seeing the bigger picture or spanning out from your current perspective and learning how to shift your perspective to really look at the long term and the long haul of things. So, is what you're doing right now conducive to what you want to do in the future? So, there's a lot of expansion happening around those areas. And I was also getting that it is safe for you to outgrow the person who you used to be. And oftentimes that can be a little challenging and difficult just because we get in comfort zones. We're creatures of habit, we're humans. But oftentimes we can kind of tell when we are ready to move on to something that is going to be more expansive. And right now is a huge time for that, especially with Jupiter going into Cancer, which is going to be in that for a year. So, right now it's really about practicing gratitude, expanding your emotions, becoming more emotionally intelligent, and also really about shifting perspectives and shooting your shot. Remember, Sagittarius is the only zodiac sign with a weapon. And with that arrow, they can really hone in on a specific objective or target that they want to reach. And as soon as they let that arrow go, it's up to the divine to deliver it where it needs to go. So um, I was also getting to stop overthinking and to just do it. So whatever that may be for some of you, those are kind of the messages that were just being downloaded. So we're going to get into the oracle and some of the tarot. So I'm starting with the Wild Woman oracle. I love this deck. I actually got it in Asheville, and this deck really taps into those primal energies. So right out the gate, we have Yemaya, Mother of All Divine Care. So a lot of you are being asked to tap more into your divinity, tap into spirit, and this is also about water cleansing. So some of you would really benefit from ritual baths, even just going out to the ocean. I know me and my coven are actually going out to the ocean tonight for the strawberry moon. So really making sure that you're soaking up the benefits of being still and being reflective. And this will also nourish you, and it's also really about self-care. So a lot going on within the lunar field. And we have another mermaid, the Call of the Sirens, sexuality. All right, so there's lots of mermaid energy coming through. And mermaids, sirens tend to get a bad rep. And because in the lore, they actually lure sailors to their death. But really, the sirens are all about tapping into their divine feminine energy. It's really about that sacral chakra. So moving of the hips, doing some dances, tapping into your inner beauty and radiance is really going to help call that energy to you. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Sacred Rebel, humility. And you can see she's kind of doing her thing on her bed there. So some of you may be going against the grain or are being asked to go against the grain and to adopt new habits and pioneer your own life, which is really cool, and that's really radical. So let's do some angels and ancestors. Spirit, what else do we have going on here? Oracle, wait for important information. So right now seems to be a really big cultivating period for you. And this may often come at a time where you don't necessarily know how to move forward, but really sitting and navigating and waiting on whatever it is that you are hoping to get more information on is really going to help you not only make jump and rash decisions, but be able to kind of strategize your movement, because I feel like this is a really big shift for a lot of you. And to being able to trust, possibly moving out of more of a traditional way of being, whether it's a traditional relationship or a traditional job. I'm feeling like there's a lot more spiritual attunement and spiritual alignment happening, whether it be in relationships or career. So, I mean, as we know, as we shift within our inner world, our outer world starts to shift. It's as above, so below. So a lot of you seem to be waiting and strategizing for more information, and sometimes it's best to sit and wait before jumping into the next thing. So just making sure that you have all the information and you feel ready. And then we have Medicine Guardian, be open to healing information. And he has the caduceus there. So some of you may be focusing a lot on your health right now, shifting your diet, bringing about a new workout routine, really making sure that your vessel is clear to be able to operate in this new frequency that you are embodying, which is amazing. I really emphasis on changing of the diet. So a lot of you may be eating lighter foods, less processed foods, and I think your body is intuitively telling you what it needs. And that is going to help shape you for your best future moving forward. Because if we practice a holistic mindset, now I'm not a doctor, but practicing a more holistic mindset of getting in those irons, nutrients, vitamins, even through herbal tinctures or teas, whatever that may be. Even just adding little sprigs of rosemary. Rosemary may be really, really poignant for some people. And rosemary is antibacterial, antifungal, but it also gives you a lot of energy and nutrients. And I'm also getting a lot of gut health for some of you. And the gut is your second brain. And we also say, listen to your gut. So a lot of you may be doing a lot of resetting within that area, and that has to do with your solar plexus chakra. So great for you guys. This is also going to teach a lot of discipline and unlearning, so shifting perspectives about ways that you have operated in the past. And remember, it is okay to outgrow who you used to be. So this all seems very linear to what I was picking up in the pre-shuffle and the channeling messages. So, and then we have Moon, take note of intuitive messages. So really, really tapping into the energies of the lunar cycles. And then we have two moons up on these cards. So moon and celestial energies may be really important for some of you. And tapping into the magic of the moon. And I'm a Pisces, so I love all the lunar energies. And it's interesting because when you start to sit and notice how you're feeling, oftentimes you can link it up to the cycle of the moon and be like, oh, that's why I'm feeling feisty or fiery, because the moon is in Sagittarius. It's interesting once you start to really sink down into some of those energies and messages and just see what your soul wants to tell you. And I think that that's also really important for a lot of you, is to trust what you are feeling. All right, so let's get into some tarot, shall we? All right, Spirit guides, what are the best and highest messages for the collective at this time? Two of Wands and the Emperor. Temperance. There's that Sag energy. Getting a lot of alchemy for a lot of you. The World, yep. So you may be sinking. Oh yeah, you guys are definitely manifesting with the Magician. With the Magician at the heart of the reading. So you guys are really trying to cultivate a new way of operating in your everyday life. I'm also hearing shifting routines and moving more towards purpose and intention in your life. And let me get two more. Woo, Queen of Wands. Yes, I love it. Queen of Cups. Wonderful. Okay, great reading. And then we have the Lovers at the bottom of the deck. I love this. Cool. Okay, so at the first row here, we have the Two of Wands, the Emperor, and Temperance. So I'm really feeling like you guys are tapping into your sovereignty. You are really sinking into trusting your inner divine guidance and your inner authority, which is really cool. I feel like you guys are starting to cultivate and look at ways in how you can move forward. And I see that this is probably paired with this wait for important information. So you guys, it feels like you guys are really looking at your options to expand your horizons. Possibly maybe you have outgrown a relationship, a work situation, or you just want to bring more opportunities to you. That could definitely be a message for a lot of you. And I feel like now you're moving with strategy, and you're also moving from a place of knowing what you want and being able to delegate and to use this momentum forward to help propel you into this new divine upgraded being who you are being asked to step into. But this is also going to take some patience. So you're not going to be 100% all the way right out the gate. This is going to take some melding and some alchemizing, and I'm hearing give it about 3 months. 3 seems to be very significant. So that puts us in, what are we, June, July, August, September. So around fall time, I feel like a lot of you may be starting to really step into this new frequency that you are being asked to hold. And you will probably get more information on that. So I also hear them saying meditate, make sure you're meditating, make sure you have a practice where it doesn't have to be for, 20 minutes every day. It can be for 5 to 10 minutes. Whatever you can fit into your schedule is really going to help you to vibrate at this higher self frequency that they're asking to meet you at, which is really cool. So we have the World, the Magician, and the Ace of Cups in the middle of the reading. So I'm reading this as present. So looking at a lot of this is the World is a cycle that has been or is wanting to be closed out. And the Magician is all about alchemy, and it's about really manifesting your desires. And I love the depiction of the Magician in the Lightseers Tarot, because in the traditional, he has the altar. He has the altar in front of him, but in this, he's looking at his reflection because he is the altar. He doesn't necessarily need all of the fancy tools. Yes, the tools are helpful, but he is really just moving in his divine wisdom, his intuitive knowing, his intuitive pings, even if it doesn't logically make sense to other people. Because being the Magician, there's a lot of alchemizing and magic in this reading. With the Temperance and the Magician here. So I feel like you guys are actively taking an approach to tap into your divine guidance, because we also have the Hierophant here. And this is coming from the heart space. So I feel like a lot of you guys have released a lot of heavy burdens that have possibly been keeping you stuck. I also hear releasing outdated narratives. So whether you have been in victim mentality or things that just aren't serving you, I feel like you've done a lot of heavy healing around that, and now you're stepping into a fusion of divine inspiration, spark, and I feel like you're also using what you have gone through and you're helping others. You're giving it a voice. You are really actively teaching, or you are holding space for people who have gone through similar things that you have. Um, and that is a really amazing space to be in. So at the bottom row here, we have the Hierophant, the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Cups. Like this is total empowerment energy. Like you guys really are doing the work. You're doing the work too. And I also see this as divine feminine and divine masculine fusion together. But the Queen of Wands, she in particular, so she's the shadow work queen. And she operates from a place of autonomy and creativity. So if she has a download for something that she can put out there and that is actually in huge alignment with who she is, you best believe she's going to take action to do that. But the fact that you also have the Queen of Cups here means that this whatever this is, this project, this relationship is in balance and in harmony with your inner world and your inner reserves and emotions. So this is interesting because this is very Sagittarius and Cancer, and this is Taurus. So you're grounding everything that you have learned and you're now implementing it into the 3D realm, which is amazing. And I feel like a lot of you guys are getting downloads from your higher self, source, God, whatever you want to call it. And you're now committed to the path. You're committed to your soul's growth. And I feel like you guys are now starting to take steps in shedding the fear around the unknown, which is really, really big. And this is the way that you are really going to start to merge with your higher self, because you are actively listening and you are acting upon those messages. So great job. This is great. So I'm going to do a little bit of clarifying here and get a little bit deeper into what's going on. All right, Spirit, can I get clarification on the Two of Wands? Seven of Cups, yeah, okay. Emperor. What's going on here? Judgment, woof. Temperance. Death, wow, okay. The World. Magician. Ace of Cups. Knight of Swords, interesting, okay. Hierophant. Queen of Cups. Spirit, why is the Queen of Cups here? Okay. Ooh, and we have the Queen of Wands. Why is the Queen of Wands here? Six of Swords. Okay, and then we have the Emperor at the bottom of the deck again. Okay, so huge theme around stepping into your divine masculine and your divine call or calling. Okay, so we have Two of Wands with the Seven of Cups. So a lot of you are trying to decide and are trying to filter out what options are going to be the best for you. And the Seven of Cups can be a little bit of a cloudy and confusing energy, but I feel like you guys are approaching this from a level-headed perspective. It's from a grounded perspective. There's no hasty action. But I do feel like you guys are really starting to feel the inner feelings of what direction you are going to be taking, because I feel like this shift is going to change you. It's going to change the way that you operate, it's going to change the way that you think about the world, and it's going to change the way you think about opportunities. So I really think that you guys are stepping into a more assertive and a more dominated role. So you could be noticing that in the past you may be operating from a more passive standpoint, and now I think it's more active. It's more like, okay, I know I am the manifester of my reality. So I know how to co-create with the divine now. So I'm going to put those teachings and my downloads into physical action and reality for me to really pull this to my life. Great. Love it. So, but to be able to get into that energy, you have to make a judgment call. There's something that really is asking for your attention. So there's something within your environment that it can't come with you. And making that judgment call is really going to help you step into this. And I also feel like you guys are needing to ask for help. So asking for help in ways of, how do I build a website, or how do I make X, Y, and Z? And this can be even people on YouTube. This can be you actually taking the steps to reach out to somebody who is in the position that you want to be in. And that right there is a lesson in itself. Knowing that it is okay for you to be a page while you are on your way to becoming an emperor. So, and then we have temperance with death. So this is really about allowing the dust to settle and really allowing this closing period, this closing time, to be patient with all of the lessons that it has taught you. I'm also seeing the Hermit in my head. So allowing this divine knowledge and this cycle with whatever this death part was for you, really allowing this to sink in and to learn from the lessons that it has taught you. So we have the World with the Seven of Wands. Okay, so what I'm feeling from this is you guys have really had to stand your ground and stand up for yourself in a cycle. And I think that that is a huge lesson. And they're saying it's okay for you to close this out now because you've learned this lesson. You've learned how to stand your ground and how to stand up for your beliefs, and how to use your voice to be able to vocalize when things are not necessarily in resonance with you, or something that's just not flying with you. This is getting over that people-pleasing energy. And then we have the Three of Wands with the Magician. So really magnetizing this new portal of abundance. I really feel like this is a new spiritual way for you guys to make money. And I really feel like you are moving into something that is more purposeful and something that helps the collective. And this is a great space to be in, because I feel like you are using your magic to steer you in the right direction of where you're supposed to go. So we have the Knight of Swords with the Ace of Cups. So the Knight of Swords is probably the fastest moving knight. Well, it is the fastest moving knight in the deck. You can see that his horse is just like, okay, what are you doing? What's happening? Where are we going? This is really fast. But I also feel like this is opening up and communicating your heartfelt emotions to the people who you love and the people who give that back to you. I think you've been doing a lot of reflection on who deserves this heart space and who deserves your kindness. And well, everybody deserves kindness, but as far as the reciprocity of relationships, you have really done I feel like this is a lot of subconscious healing right here. So you have done a lot of the inner work to bring about that clarity and that knowledge. And now I think that you are appreciating those people who have stuck by you through whatever hardship this was, whatever heart emotional phase that you were in, those people who have stuck by you. I really feel like this is a sense of gratitude, I feel like, and you're communicating that. So, and then we have the Hierophant with the Four of Cups. Okay, so with this, I feel like you guys have been offered something that is not, it's just not it. This is the not it card. This is the emotional discontentment. Like, why are you offering me this cup? I know that there's something a lot bigger that I can be doing. I really feel like a lot of you guys have stepped into your self-worth and your power. And I love it. I love that. You guys are not settling for less anymore. You're not settling for the half-assed apology. You're not settling for the half-assed emotional commitment. Like, you guys are really starting to feel into, okay, if this does not help my soul's growth, then what am I doing here? Why are we wasting our time? And that's amazing. So with the Queen of Cups, you have the Nine of Cups. So tapping into, and this is very Jupiter and Cancer energy too. So Jupiter is the benefic planet of expansion. Its traditional ruler, actually it's Pisces, but it actually rules Sagittarius. But this is the Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio card. So I feel like if you tap deeply into your emotions at this time, you will reap the rewards of that. You will start to see a reflection back to you of how you have put out your heartfelt energy, and it's going to be reflected back to you. It's going to fill your cup. It's going to really have you vibrating at a much higher level because you are investing in those who are investing in you. And that has to do with emotions, your coin, your mind, your time. Like this is everything. And then we have the Queen of Wands with the Six of Swords. Okay, so you're moving on to better things. Again, this is that entrepreneur queen. So a lot of you could be starting your own business. You could be starting your own self-made, it could be a hobby, or it really very well could be a business. But you're moving from a tumultuous space that just it doesn't serve you anymore. I feel like a lot of you have outgrown certain environments or situations, and in order to really flourish and thrive in this Queen of Wands energy, you have to move. You have to move away from the I'm hearing mental disturbances, and a lot of the heartfelt discontentment that this last cycle has brought you. So a lot of closing out of the cycles. But I feel like there's like a rejuvenation energy here that's present for you guys, which is amazing. All right, so let's get some advice. Spirit, what advice is here for the collective? What is here for the collective at this time? Ooh, align. Yay! This came out, I believe, in the last reading that we did. Compassion, love it. And give, and then we have pause. Cool, okay, that's validating. All right, so a lot of you are in that contemplative pausing area, and it's okay to be in this space, especially when you know and you feel like there's a really big chapter that is opening up for you, and especially if it's somewhere or something that you have never done before. Like you are about to step into a whole new role, which is going to have you embodying new energies and new frequencies. So you may be feeling a little tired, you may be feeling like your energy is not at the peak that it usually is, but that's okay. Know that they are readjusting your frequencies to be able to hold more divine light and energy. And that's where the collective is going. So that has everything to do with the alignment. So practicing compassion, practicing gratitude, and also know that you don't have to be productive 24/7. I know here in the United States that's a normal thing for our society to think that we have to do. But in order to align with these frequencies, you have to be able to receive. You have to be able to rest. And I feel like a lot of you guys need some rest, and especially if you are waiting for important information. So that meditation is really going to be very helpful. And then we have compassion. It says you're being asked to be kinder to yourself, to give yourself a break instead of being taskmaker, be a loving comforter who always has your back. So learning how to be your own best friend and learning when your body or your mind or your heart is telling you like, hey, we need a rest. We've had enough. It's time to chill out. It's time to fill our cup back up in whatever way that that is for you. So, and then we have give. So I feel like a lot of you may be healthcare workers or in a healing profession. So, and this is naturally giving of your energy, giving your healing in your energy. A lot of you may be Reiki practitioners, but this is telling you that you are in this energy and continue to do it. But I'm also hearing like know your boundaries, because oftentimes when we give and give and give and it's a part of our job, I understand. I'm a massage therapist and esthetician. You can reach that burnout place, especially if you are consistently giving and giving. So knowing where your limits are and knowing when it's time to rest and to fill your cup up, that's exactly where you'll be pouring back into you. So, but thank you guys for being here. I'm going to leave it at that. If you are interested in any candles, products, sprays, I have all of that in the description, in the links. It will take you to the Etsy shop. If you are in the Charleston area, depending on how far you out, I can do a local drop off. So, and we're going to be doing the Southeast Punk Flea Market. So our next market is in Savannah, which is pretty exciting because this is going to be our first travel market. And then the next one will be in Charleston, and I'm hoping to be able to travel to go further, North Carolina, Virginia. Really hoping to be able to start doing that. So, but if you guys have any questions or if you would like a reading, please reach out to me and give us a follow on Instagram, TikTok, all the platforms. But thank you guys so much, and I hope you have a wonderful full moon in Sag. Blessed be. Bye.